Welcome to Friday Night Ghost Frights, a series of real, true experiences with the paranormal and the supernatural. A series of ghost tales that will frighten you in the depths of the night. Some may not believe the things I'm about to describe, but I assure you that everything I'm about to tell you is absolutely true. It is up to you, dear viewer, as to whether you believe me or not. The Monster in the Closet case is probably the most insane case that I've worked on to date. It was featured on Animal Planet's The Haunted, which is now running in syndication on Destination America. In this particular case, the family had been experiencing paranormal activity for about 20 years, but they had never confided in each other over what had been happening around the house until just before they called us in to investigate. The primary paranormal activity that was being reported at that time was the red-eyed shadow that was being seen in the grown daughter's closet. However, there were a number of different things that were being reported throughout the house, including other shadow people and the like. In fact, one particular story, when the son had been living there, he had witnessed what he called a wrestling match in the middle of the night. However, he couldn't see any of the participants. He just heard the fighting and things crashing around his bedroom at that time. But it was in her closet where the shadow lurked and would come out to terrorize her and her cat. In fact, when we investigated the home, one of the more unusual occurrences that we witnessed was the cat walking up to her bedroom doorway and stopping to a standstill. I walked up, looked into the bedroom, and saw a very large, massive shadow in the middle of the room. No real form or shape, just a massive black shadow, which slowly dissipated away as the cat took off around the corner. We investigated that home about 5 times before the TV crew came in and decided to film a cleansing of the home with Carl Johnson. Carl is known for his work on ghost hunters, plus is a world-renowned demonologist, although it was not a demon in this particular case, just a malevolent human spirit. I had done some research on the home and had discovered a dark history that had occurred there early on. The original homeowner had his father living there, and his father had grown very depressed. He was unable to get work because he was feeling very, very ill, and he eventually took his life in the bedroom where the grown daughter was sleeping by putting a rifle in his mouth and pulling the trigger. Years later, the son also tried to take his life in the middle of an argument with his wife. Like his father, he took a gun, this time a pistol, and put it under his chin. However, he actually missed and survived, although was very, very injured. Needless to say, that marriage didn't last. There was also another tale in that house that we were unable to confirm, that of a teenage boy asphyxiating himself in the closet. While a retired local police officer is the one that told the story, there were no reports that we could find to confirm it. It was the cleansing of the house where things began to go awry. We had asked the family to stay outside while we tended to the work, and we went from room to room, with Carl blessing each room as we went. However, the grown daughter had decided to come into the house to use the bathroom. And while she was in the master bedroom, we caught her there talking at something against the wall. She was saying things like, "Why are you here? You don't belong here." And so Carl decided to do a blessing over her. And what happened then was she immediately doubled over in pain like she'd been punched in the gut, and she fell to the ground. At that time, my audio recorder picked up the word "die" just as she was being seemingly punched in the gut.
This is a chance to reveal yourself, and we command you, by the holy powers, by the angels that visit this house.
Ow! Ow! You alright? Ow!
We put her back up on the bed, but other things started happening at that same time that weren't depicted on the television show. For one, the tri-field meter that we had set up near her bedroom closet started going off like crazy.
We got meter activations in here.
Really?
Yeah.
Is it on? What is it on?
Okay. Where's the K2 mic? You got it?
No, right here.
Okay.
Just as we captured that, the back door to the master bedroom blew open. We shut it and it blew open again. We shut it and we had to deadbolt it so it wouldn't blow open again. And Carl ended up doing a blessing over the door. Well, we eventually went outside. Our strategy was to move from room to room to push the entity out of the house. Eventually we moved to the backyard, pushing it out through the back of the property. But the wind had really kicked up into a frenzy. The cats were running around like crazy, and Carl was saying his prayer. We were all holding hands in a circle while this wind just whipped around us. Eventually, the wind died down. Carl fell to a knee, totally out of breath. But we all felt that we had been successful. Well, we went to visit the family where they had been waiting for us in the side yard as we conducted the cleansing. And we made remarks, wow, that was some wind that really kicked up. And they said, what wind? They hadn't experienced any wind whatsoever, just over there on the side of the house. While in the backyard, it was gale storm type winds that had been blowing around. We kept in touch with the family for quite some time after that cleansing, and they hadn't experienced the red-eyed entity anymore. A successful cleansing in our eyes was such a wild story of the paranormal to tell. Thank you for watching Friday Night Ghost Frights. Please let us know what you think of our show in the comments below. And if you have not yet, please subscribe. I'm Mike Ricksecker. Until next Friday night.